The Golden State Warriors are facing a crucial moment in their season as they look to regain their footing in the highly competitive Western Conference. With a challenging stretch behind them in December and January, the Warriors have a narrow window to climb the standings and secure a favorable playoff position. However, a new force has entered the fold: Jimmy Butler, a player whose presence has already begun to change the dynamic of the team. Butler's arrival has provided the Warriors with much-needed stability, leadership, and an added layer of defensive prowess. His ability to guard multiple positions on the floor, along with his all-around contributions, has injected new life into a team that has been struggling to maintain its championship pedigree. The question on everyone's mind is whether this newfound synergy can be sustained, and if it can lead to a deep playoff run. Golden State finds itself in a precarious position, still fighting for a spot in the top 6 of the West, a place they desperately need to secure to avoid the chaos of the play-in tournament. Head coach Steve Kerr has stated that the goal is to reach the 6th seed, and given the unpredictable nature of the West, it's still a possibility. Despite their recent struggles, the Warriors, led by the dual threat of Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, have the potential to be a formidable postseason contender. Their road ahead is a tough one, but if they can stay healthy and continue to gel as a unit, they could become a serious threat to teams like Memphis, Denver, and the Lakers, who sit above them in the standings. Butler's impact cannot be overstated. He has seamlessly integrated into the Warriors system, playing with the kind of basketball IQ and intensity that this team needs. His defensive versatility allows Golden State to switch seamlessly on defense, and his leadership on both ends of the floor has provided a calming influence in high-pressure situations. While his scoring is important, what stands out most is his unselfishness and willingness to do the dirty work, whether it's setting screens, diving for loose balls, or guarding the opponent's best player. The fact that he has already signed an extension with the Warriors alleviates any concerns about him playing for a contract, and his focus is entirely on winning. This is a player who has been to the NBA Finals and knows what it takes to succeed on the grand stage, and now he brings that championship mindset to a team that has often looked vulnerable in recent seasons. However, the Warriors' playoff aspirations remain uncertain. While the addition of Butler undoubtedly strengthens their roster, questions persist about their ability to match up with the elite teams in the West. The Warriors' lack of size, particularly in their frontcourt, remains a glaring weakness, and teams like the Nuggets and Lakers, who possess superior size and depth, could exploit that vulnerability. The Warriors' success will hinge on their ability to stay healthy, particularly with Curry, who has dealt with injuries in the past. Additionally, their defense, while improved with Butler's arrival, still lacks the consistency needed to compete with the league's best. As the season progresses, Golden State will need to refine their defense and find ways to generate offense without relying too heavily on Curry's scoring. Looking ahead to the playoff picture, the Warriors face an uphill battle. If they find themselves in the play-in tournament, they would likely face a tough opponent like the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that has been exceeding expectations. If they manage to climb into the 7th or 8th seed, they could find themselves up against heavyweights like Memphis, Denver, or the Lakers. The Warriors would likely be underdogs in those matchups, and while they have the potential to pull off an upset, it's difficult to envision them making a deep run without significant improvements in their overall play. Their chances of advancing past the first round would be slim, and even if they manage to surprise some people, their lack of depth and the challenge of navigating a tough postseason field could spell the end of their title hopes. Some analysts, however, remain optimistic about the Warriors' potential. They argue that Golden State's experience, coupled with the addition of Butler, gives them a shot to make a run at the 6th seed and avoid the play-in. While the road to the playoffs is filled with obstacles, Butler's presence could be the catalyst that propels the Warriors forward. His leadership, coupled with Curry's elite shooting and Draymond Green's playmaking, could create a dynamic trio that is difficult to stop. The chemistry between Butler and Curry is already apparent, with their contrasting styles, Butler's ability to dominate the paint and Curry's perimeter shooting, complementing each other well. If the Warriors can find a way to maximize their roster strengths, they could still make some noise in the postseason. That said, it's important to manage expectations. The Warriors are far from a surefire contender, and their recent struggles suggest that a deep playoff run is far from guaranteed. Even with the addition of Butler, they still face an uphill battle against teams that are more cohesive and well-rounded. The reality is that Golden State's championship window may have already closed, and while they have the talent to make a playoff push, it's hard to envision them going all the way. As the season progresses, the Warriors will need to find consistency and chemistry if they hope to make any noise in the postseason. While Butler's addition has given them a much-needed boost, the road ahead is filled with formidable opponents who won't be intimidated by Golden State's star power. The next month and a half will be crucial for the Warriors, and they must continue to build on their positive momentum if they want to avoid another disappointing finish. With the playoff picture growing clearer by the day, the Warriors must prove that they can still be a force to be reckoned with in the West. Whether they can rise to the challenge remains to be seen.